Look, Katlego, first of all, I just am going to sit here in utter shock that I have to listen to a man who came from his country to come and tell me about patriotism when he probably doesn't even do a thing about his own country that's about to change the constitution and allow for 2030 to happen. I've never heard Mr. Sibanda say a single thing to try and stand up for the people of Zimbabwe and stand up for his country. So he's the last person to tell me about patriotism and how I should exercise patriotism in my country. I'm not the one on a Zimbabwean national television platform fighting to get other South Africans documented in Zimbabwe, first of all. Second of all, Mr. Sibande, my surname is Zuma. I'm Mrs. Zuma to you. And lastly, well, not lastly, but second to last, Mr. Sibande, you are sitting here telling us about all kinds of corruption that's happening at Home Affairs. But have you ever for once reported that corruption? Because seemingly you know all the ins and outs. So if this report of SIU did not come out, when are we going to hear all these revelations that you know, Mr. Sibande? It shows that you know and you're part of the system that is enabling all this corruption to happen, but you're not going to stop it because it enables Zimbabweans to leave their country and come here and reap our country and take off all our resources to benefit you as Zimbabweans. And you're not going to stand up for Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe because you don't have the guts to. That's why you only have guts here in South Africa, because you know that when you're in Zimbabwe, you're small cats. Also, Mr. Sibande, let me tell you, for the longest time we've been saying to you that there are too many illegal immigrants in this country, and you are busy telling us about ZDPs and all these refugee statuses, etc., etc. Now, do you consider a person that has fraudulently occupied and received documents to be in South Africa a person who is legally in the country? Of course not. That person is an illegal immigrant, and you, Mr. Sibande, are also involved in that corruption. Why are you not telling Katlego that you also are trending and you are in the newspaper and in the news for fraudulently getting documents to be in South Africa? Now you've got a television platform that allows you to speak, and you think that you have been accused of standing up and admitting that you also went into that system and corruptly entered into South Africa. Why are you not telling the truth, Mr. Sibande? Being on television must not absolve you from the truth of who you are.
Right.
And you are a Zimbabwean that's running away from who you really are, and that is a person that is in the country fraudulently but has been given platforms to speak, and you're using that to paint yourself as a victim. You are not a victim. You are part of the corrupt system, and you're not helping this country in any way. You need to go back to Zimbabwe and fix it for yourself and for your children and their future.
On a broader spectrum, Jacinta, how do we solve the problems that are faced by the millions of South Africans that is impacted by what this SIU report has now put out?
First of all, we solve the problems by not allowing Zimbabweans to tell us what to do in our country. It's our country, and therefore we need to know and say what's best for us. Second to that, we have departments and we have things like the SIU and the Hawks, which we're very happy that finally they've come up with this report and come out with it. Because when we met them for the first time, they did tell us that they are on to a report and they're waiting for a report from the SIU. This is what we were told from the Department of Home Affairs. And we are very happy to finally see it materialize, because we'd also been told that there's a lot of pastors who are mostly Nigerian who are in the country.
Designate those times. But our law was always clear that to participate in a business in South Africa, when you are a foreign national, you must invest a minimum of 5 million. And sitting here, we know you don't need 5 million to operate in a spaza shop. So therefore, that area is out of bounds for foreign nationals, unless they are refugees, because the refugees are treated the same way as citizens are treated. Yes, because they have no other country. But the problem is that majority of what are called refugees in South Africa, during holidays they go home. Therefore, they forgo their status as a refugee. And that's what Home Affairs is tightening. So that when a person exits the country who is a refugee, they know that they've lost the right to be a refugee in South Africa. They were tightening their ability to trace that, because there's been an abuse of the refugee system in the country. So we are tightening that. And the time frames, we have been working on this. I'm sure majority of South Africans do not know that the white paper was approved first in 2024, and then revised again in 2025, and it has already been approved. As we speak, Home Affairs is working on the implementation of those clauses that can be implemented without the law, but also drafting the bill that must go to Parliament, that you must public participate in, and say, we don't like this, we want this as South Africans. But the problem with us is that we complain. When we are required to make comments, we don't make the comments. We don't public participate, including even in the IDP processes of municipalities. We complain, but then the participation, we don't want to participate in processes that will help us.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Jones, Why Not TV. Please subscribe. Bye for now till we meet again next time. Subscribe.